Now, an Emeritus Newsbrief, I'm Lynn Houston. The Senate has announced a bipartisan package to create jobs and also extend unemployment benefits. The deal includes unemployment benefits through May 31st, and those states with unemployment rates above 8.5% will get extended benefits paid 100% by the federal government. The extension also includes COBRA subsidies for those buying health insurance from their former employers. Good news for the longer-term unemployed. The proposal offers payroll tax exemptions from Social Security payroll taxes for every worker hired in 2010 who has been unemployed for at least 60 days. The maximum value would be equal to 6.2% of wages up to the FICA wage cap of $106,000. There would also be an additional $1,000 income tax credit for every new employee retained for 52 weeks to be taken on the employer's 2011 income tax return. The deal also includes extensions of Medicare payments for doctors to prevent a 21% payment cut, and a provision to give the IRS new authority to detect and prosecute offshore or foreign tax shelter abuses. The House version of the jobs bill is much different on tax incentives, but House and Senate leaders believe a compromise will be found within a week.
We're going to move this afternoon to a smaller package than had been talked about in the press. We're going to do a bill that has 4 things in it. It has a Build America bonds, which has been so dramatically successful. We're going to do the highway bill extension for 1 year, which will save 1 million jobs. We're going to do the Section 179 small business tax program, which in effect allows people to write off their expenses very, very quickly. And we're going to do the Hatch-Schumer job creating measure. That's going to be in one package. We're going to move to that. And then when we finish that, we'll move on to the tax extenders and all the other stuff. But we feel that the American people need a message. The message that they need is that we're doing something about jobs. We don't have a jobs bill. We have a jobs agenda.
The bill is especially critical since unemployment benefits are set to run out at the end of the month, and advocates claim a bill must be passed by the 19th to prevent benefit interruptions. The head of Toyota Motor Company's U.S. operations has apologized for the firm's response to defects on the company's models involved in recent recalls.
The New York Times, I'm reading New York Times on Sunday, and they basically said Toyota's pattern is slow response on safety issues. That was the headline. And Ray LaHood, who said a couple of things, said that basically you've been safety deaf. I mean, how do you respond to that? This is your brand they're talking about, and it's a very serious situation. So how do you respond to those?
Well, I obviously I don't necessarily agree with the comments. When you look at the 2 current issues, the issue of floor mat entrapment, in the very beginning, we concentrated on the mats. We had 2 different recalls on mats to change the shape of the mat. But it became clear to us that in addition to the mat, we needed to increase the clearance under the pedal, because in many cases, some customers use multiple floor mats. And as a result, we are reshaping that. We have brake override systems going into some of those vehicles. So we're very confident that the entrapment piece of things is being taken care of. Today, we are now in the process of going through and reinforcing our pedals with a metal device to ensure that we don't have pedals that are either slow to react or pedals that over time could become sticky. So we're confident with what we know today that we have the solution in place.
The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration has already announced the agency is opening a formal investigation of the 2010 Toyota Prius hybrid to look into the allegations of momentary loss of braking capability while traveling over an uneven road surface, including potholes and bumps. The Office of Defects Investigation has received 124 reports from consumers, including 4 reports involving crashes. Recent recalls also include the Lexus HS250H, experiencing brake problems as well, and the 2010 Camrys, which are prone to brake fluid leaks. More on the Emeritus News consumer page. HHS Secretary Kathleen Sebelius blasting WellPoint and subsidiary Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield for proposed 39% increases on some individual policies. Sebelius has asked the company to publicly reveal the percent of individual market premiums that are used for medical care versus the percent that is used for administrative costs. California officials are already investigating the company's rates. More on the Emeritus News insurance page. Also on the Emeritus News homepage, banks are bracing for what is expected to be another brutal year with millions of foreclosures. Even some homeowners that can afford their payments are disgusted with their banks and loan agreements and are letting their mortgages go into default rather than deal with the banks over restructuring. The latest on the biggest issues and public policy at emeritusnews.com. And live 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on the Emeritus News channel at livestream.com. That's an Emeritus News Brief. I'm Lynn Houston.